Hi, I'm Sophia Narciso. According to the Washington Post, Finland is ranked and has been ranked one of the highest countries in regards to education for at least the past 20 years. And according to an American author named William Doyle, he stated, "I've seen the school of tomorrow, and it is here today in Finland." Now I know none of us go to school in Finland, but those are some outstanding remarks to make. And it has me wondering what makes Finland so great. So today I'm going to share with you how Finland rose to the ranks of education that it is today, and what it takes to be a teacher in Finland and student life in Finland. So let's begin with what Finland has done to raise their education standards. So in the 1960s, Finland and the US were pretty neck and neck in regards to education standards, education levels. And then in 1972, Finland changed their education system because their old one had problems. And one of the problems with their old system was that when kids reached the age of 11, they were separated into two groups. One was a more academic focused group, and another one was a more practical focused group. And the practice is more towards pushing them towards a job. And when they were split, they would go to different schools as well. And they're only 11 years old at that point, and it's kind of a lot to choose, which one am I going to take? So Finland scratched that one out, and they instilled a 9-year program. So for the first 6 years, they all start school at the age of 7, by the way. But for the first 6 years, all students take the same classes, everything is the same. And then for the last 3 years, they can kind of pick and choose to some extent on what they want to take, what they want to learn. And so that's different. And then when they go into secondary school or high school, they can either choose to take the general academic route, or they can take a more vocational route if they want to go straight into the job and have more hands-on job training. And so another change that came along with that was mandatory counseling, mandatory guidance counseling. So they wouldn't be just what do we want to take? But they had somebody there to help guide them and help make the right choices in what they want to do with their lives. So now that we know some of the changes Finland made, let's move on to what it takes to be a teacher in Finland. So being a teacher in Finland is a job that is highly respected and highly sought after. And the process to become a teacher in Finland is very rigorous and very competitive. So they receive about 20,000 applicants and only take in 5,000 to become teachers. And in Finland, all teachers must have a master's degree. And because of this over-preparedness, this rigorism that they went through, they have so much freedom in the classroom. Teachers in Finland can have their own curriculum. They can choose how much technology they want to have in the classroom. It's just a really flexible schedule, and they can choose whatever they want. It's not like somebody is on a school board or something telling them, oh, you have to teach this, this, and this. No, in Finland, they get to pick and choose. Teachers are in charge of their own classroom, and they get to pick and choose what they want to teach. And that comes with being overqualified, which is a good thing. So that's what it is like to be a teacher in Finland. Now let's move on to student life. So like I said before, kids in Finland don't start school until the age of 7. And when they first go to school, they're only there for 20 hours a week. And that's crazy to think, because here, I'm not sure, I think the average is over 6 hours a day, and then times 5 is about 30 or more. But they start off with 20, and then as they get older, more and more. But the first years of them in school is just them learning how to react with other kids socially, react with teachers. It's more like a social thing, not really structured learning, but just social learning. And then and there's little to no homework in Finland, and this is due to teachers and everybody wants to have time with their family and have like time for kids to be kids. So they go to school less. However, they do perform significantly well on standardized tests, especially like a global test called the PISA. They score fairly high almost all the time. And but they don't have standardized tests themselves. Like teachers don't do that. Like they don't like pass out scantrons and stuff, which is really cool. So I shared with you some different features in Finland's education system. And the differences include that everything in the school is paid for through taxation. And so you can't go off and say, all schools also receive the same amount of money. So you can't go off and say that, you can't go off and say like one school is better than the other because they all receive the same money. And teaching is a very respected job. Teachers make the minimum wage for a teacher is like $40,000 US, and then for primary school teacher, and then as you get older it's more, or for if you teach a higher grade it's more. And then students go to school less but still earn higher scores on standardized tests. So I mean, other countries should model after Finland. Their students seem eager to learn, and in comparison to us in the US, where we celebrate when classes are canceled.